Today, I would like to ask you, what would change in your life if you remembered to breathe consciously, not just when you're stressed, but every single day? What if your breath could bring you back to yourself, back to presence, and back to life in an instant? Hold that question. We'll come back to it. Hello and welcome to another Soul Sunday. As always, an important reminder, whatever we say, check with your inner knowing what feels true for you. You can have your camera on. You will not appear on the recording unless you turn on your microphone, and you're welcome to ask your questions live, and then you will appear on YouTube later. You can also ask your questions or comment in a Zoom chat or on Facebook. Last week, we explored being highly sensitive and defining a new way to live. Yvonne shared her deeply personal journey with high sensitivity, from childhood overwhelm at amusement parks to learning that her sensitivity isn't a flaw, but a fine-tuned instrument that perceives more, feels more, and connects more deeply. Like a spider in its web, the tiniest movement sends information. Her sensibility is her gift, and her safety and her strongest power. And the Hill's message last week was holding back robs you of joy and robs others of the chance to experience more joy. A bird doesn't ask for permission to sing. The bird sings because the song wants to be sung. What happens inside of you when you allow more than you block? Your sensitivity isn't a burden. It's a compass pointing you toward a completely new way of living. You can watch the full episode on my YouTube channel. There's a link in the chat, comment, or description. So lovely to see you all people joining in here. Wonderful. So, if your sensitivity is a compass, if allowing more than you block opens the door to freedom, the next question is, what's the simplest, most accessible tool you have to come back to yourself, to presence, to clarity, to life itself, and what you want to create in this world? You got it. Breathing. The first thing you do when you come to life in this world is taking a breath. And the last thing you do when you leave your body is taking a last breath. Today, we're exploring breath as life, not just as a biological function, but as a bridge between body and soul, between earth and heaven, and between now and eternity. Here's something that I've noticed about myself. Whenever I overthink something, I forget my body. I forget breathing, and I actually forget about living. I want to solve something so badly that I do all that I can to figure something out with my mind, pushing, forcing, trying to control the outcome. The only problem is it's not done with the mind. It's done with inspiration and relaxation, with spirit. And spirit gives body and soul life and energy. And your breath, you breathe in spirit. So breathing is one of the most spiritual things you can do to give life and to receive life. Because breath is life, and life is spirit and matter united right inside of your body. And isn't it strange that something so natural and essential, something we're all completely dependent on, is so misunderstood and forgotten? Most of all, forgotten because of dissociation. How is it that the majority of people haven't learned to breathe properly? Even with all the breath work that is popular right now and been for a while, how is it that so few actually remember? Because there is a deeper meaning to it. It's not just breathing for the sake of breathing, it's connecting. It's about thinking clearing. It's about uniting spirit, body, and mind. And what stops you from breathing are often trauma response, like you might have guessed. And it doesn't have to be, but it's quite common. So we shouldn't go beating ourselves like, oh, I forgot to breathe properly. No, no. Forgive yourself and remind you. Trauma or not, we often stop breathing when we get stuck, and when we get more stuck when we stop breathing and stop moving. And usually it's because of fear, anxiety, tension, overthinking, all the things that pull you out of your body into your head. Well, your head is part of your body, but I'm talking about your thinking mind, those tiny 5% that we try to control the world with. It ain't the thing. All the things that disconnect you from the present moment, from yourself, and from life itself. So the moment you remember to breathe, truly breathe, consciously, deeply, widely, things come back into balance and connection. You come back and you can land and remember. The Hill has something powerful to say about this, and let me share what our friends brought to us on in the workshop that we had in January, Remembering Your Light. So I'm reading. Breath is life, and your breathing is central to your well-being. Most people don't take full advantage of it. Just feel what it does with your thinking, your presence, your bodily functions, and your mood. But we haven't been taught to use it properly. And as with true embodied spirituality, not the oppressive religious version, and like with so many other things, we've been taught to hold back, not to be too much, and definitely not be more than the priest, the king, those in power. Your breathing can unleash so much of your potential that you would be surprised if you used it more consciously. You have a physical breathing enlivening every cell of your being, and you have a spiritual breathing enlightening your soul, body, heart, and mind, flowing between heaven and earth through your body, through your spine, making you more grounded, centered, and connected. Can you feel it? Sit with it, walk with it, dance with it, sing with it, play with it. It is totally free and it can set you free. We love and honor you, your friends in eternity. And if you're new here, I forgot to mention, uh, I'm working with nonverbal autistic friends, and we meet every morning at 5 a.m. in another dimension for conversations, transmissions, and mentoring. And if you're new to that, also, there is a whole podcast about it, Telepathy Tapes. So, did anything land for you? We would love to hear your thoughts about breathing that can unleash so much of your potential. And it's so common that we take substances instead. when in fact we could get more energy just by taking a moment to breathe instead. Instead of an extra cup of coffee, instead of doing something else, like bypassing this primal function. And it's not that I'm completely against coffee. I have just very tiny amount every week, not every day. But it's more because I really like the taste and the nice little kick. But I know it is both a drug and a medicine. So it's not about saying say anything wrong about it. It's more like, how about instead of automatically take something, instead of checking in, is this what I truly need right now? So this is not just about taking deeper breaths. It's about remembering that you breathe in spirit as well, and that breath is the bridge between matter and the divine. It is totally free, thank God, and it hopefully will stay free. There is also something I learned the other week, and it was in one of my newsletters, that changed how I am breathing, not just deep breathing into the belly, but also checking in, or mostly the area around my rib cage, back into the spine, actually, around the solar plexus. That changes a lot, because that's where physiologically we can actually take use of the oxygen in a better way. So automatically breathing down into your belly, that has a function, but we don't take up as much oxygen. So, Yvonne, over to you. You have something you want to share.
Thank you, Elof, and warmly welcome from me too to all the beautiful souls out there. And in our last 21-day journey through the wisdom of your soul, I had the honor of writing this living meditation. Some of you might know it already. And today we want to guide you through it together. You may already have found it in our shop, actually. And the last days we felt called to stay with it a little longer, to breathe with it, and before we open it up more widely. So we are releasing a new updated version soon. So for now, we will present this live version to you. And when I sink deeper into the meaning of living for myself, the first thing I meet is breath, this natural, unhurried flow that gently nourishes our being, and the quiet space between every breath we take, where life itself fills with present and eternal possibilities. So, this meditation today, spoken and brought to life by Elof, guides you into the stillness of your breath and closes with a loving living visualization and an invitation to see, to feel, and inhabit the truth of who you are. So for now, I want to invite you to simply receive it, to breathe it, to really be with it, and to flow with it. So thank all of you and welcome, Elof.
Thank you, darling. And find a comfortable position. And as always, you're invited to the remembrance field between Arcturus and Lemuria. We have an episode on that as well. So, this is a moment to experience your breathing. So make it cozy for yourself. Some extra pillows if you need. And whatever position you choose, let your hands rest with your palms facing up as a sign of receiving and a gesture of opening. And if it's safe for you to close your eyes, you can do so, or have them slightly open. So from here, begin by focusing on your breath in a relaxed way. Feel how the fresh air touches your nose and softly flows deep down into your body. And out again. Feel how you open up with every new breath in, and how you gently settle back with every breath out. And feel the natural pause between each breath, and notice the space in the middle of this quiet collaboration. So that you can sink deeper and deeper. And with every breath you take, you become more and more present and more aware. And with every breath you take, you land more and more in your body. More and more in the here and now. And with every breath you take, you feel more and more relaxed, more at ease, so that you can sink deeper and deeper. Feel how the oxygen flows into every corner of your being, softly nourishing each cell, restoring and renewing you from the inside out. Now let your breath become your guide. Notice the coolness of the air as it enters through your nose, traveling gently into your solar plexus, the space around your lower rib cage. Expanding the space in the middle of your body. And gently flowing out again. And feel how your body expands with each inhale, opening softly like a flower, and how it settles back with each exhale, releasing and letting go. Notice the still moment between each breath. That quiet space where nothing is needed, where everything simply is. So that you can sink deeper and deeper into yourself, fully aware and awake. And with every breath you take, you arrive more fully in this moment. And you become more awake to what is. Anchored in the present. Feel how each breath nourishes every part of you. How the life within the air reaches your cells, your tissues, and your bones, renewing you and restoring. Allow your breath to simply happen. Feel the soft rise of your body as you breathe in, and the tender surrender as you breathe out. Rest for a moment in the pause between. That sacred stillness that holds everything together. Your mind becomes more quiet. Your thoughts drift farther away. And with every breath you take, your body remembers how to let go, how to feel held, and how to rest. With every breath you take, you feel more and more at home within yourself. More and more whole. Here you sink deeper and deeper and feel how each breath is a quiet act of love. How the air moves through you like a gentle river, touching every cell, every corner of your being. Filling you with life, filling you with presence. In the middle of breathing itself, in the rhythm of your life, you open this sacred space. A space where all of you belongs. Every part of your being, every layer of your awareness. A space that is yours to inhabit. Yours to fill. Now, I want you to see yourself, feel yourself, be yourself in the middle of your breath, in the middle of your space. Be the one who is waiting for you to live this life with your deepest truth, with your deepest desires, with all what you want and wish for in your life. What are you doing right there? What are you feeling within it? How are you moving? Which words are you choosing? Which posture would you hold? And what calm would live in your breath? And with every breath in, let this picture sink deeper and deeper into you. And with every breath out, let this picture grow through you. Let it touch your surroundings. Let it settle into your being. And let it be your guide. And who you are. So just stay in this visualization for a moment. Hold it. Be it. Manifest it. And live it. Now slowly and softly begin to come back to your senses. Feel your surroundings, the clothes that warm your skin, the surface your body rests on. Maybe you can hear some sounds around you. Maybe there is a scent that reaches your nose. Open your eyes if you had them closed and gently take in everything that finds its place before you. And let this lived experience take its rightful place in your life, consciously breathing, being, living. Thank you. Welcome back. So how was this for you? We already got some comments in the chat. Please share something if you experienced anything that you want to share. And this is something you can do anytime, anywhere. You can come back to this when I put up the recording on YouTube. Cecilia, you're right. Thank you. This was like a warm hug for my soul. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Sophie had this warm, active healing feeling. It's happening every time here. Thank you. Wonderful. I'm sorry if there was any technical glitches. We were actually very close to not be able to have the session today because of some technical glitch. And it seems to be something going on right now with the solar flares and what have you. So I'm very grateful. Thank you, everyone who helped that the technique was working today. So, circling back to the opening question. You remember the question in the beginning, what would change in your life if you remembered to breathe consciously? not just when you're stressed, but every single day. So here's what I know, that when we forget to breathe, we forget our body, forget about life, getting stuck in our head, trying to solve everything with thinking, pushing, forcing. When we remember to breathe, truly breathe consciously, we remember. Inspiration doesn't come from the mind. Well, it can, but even more so from spirit. Remember that we are the bridge between heaven and earth, and remember that breath is life. So I will ask you, what helps you remember to breathe consciously? And what would it be like to make this a daily practice, not just when you're overwhelmed, but as a way of life? And it even could be, if I'm not mistaken, at least one person in the group here that is actually a breath consultant. What do you call it? Breath instructor. I'm not, just to make it clear. I'm happy if every time I learn something new about breathing. Cecilia, I saw myself on a stage, surrounded by other souls, spreading my light, crying, laughing, grateful. Wonderful. I love that. Fred, warm thanks for soul journey. Lovely. Sophia wrote, I truly recognize the revolutionary power of a connected breathing, not holding back life force energy, certainly, because that is what happens. If we have a response of some way, our body frees and we hold back. And every time we get to peace with that, just be with it or transform it in any way we can, we remember what it's like to get life back in our body. Lamita, breathing pattern comes from our mother's start when we are being in the womb. Oh, yes, I didn't think of it actually. That's a very good point. As with everything else in this physical life, the 9 first months, you become pretty much what those 9 months meant to you. What happened? What kind of programming? And then it's a lifelong journey to undo whatever we don't want to keep. But at least our mothers were breathing, so that's a good start. And you're right that my breathing is stuck there, and it's not easy for me to break that, but very long walks helps. Yeah, movement really helps with breathing, that's for sure. So, wonderful people, we are about to close. And if there are no more questions or comments, I just think that we shouldn't take breathing for granted. Even if it happens automatically, it is something so unique to being a human or an animal that we have this amazing tool for transformation. So, I'm Elof, I'm a soul guide for heart-centered leadership. In simple words, I help you to clear the noise from things that happened in the past, generational trauma, old patterns that aren't yours, and guide you back to your soul so that you can lead yourself from there. And my core tools are soul retrieval, energy balancing for your whole system, clearing limiting beliefs from your subconscious mind in real time by while being awake. And it all can be done online. And if you would like to explore this, you can book a clarity call to see if we resonate and what I can do for you. I've had people come to me with all sorts of stress symptoms, pains, aches, often when other modalities didn't help, that could be cleared relatively easily in a sessions or more. And then the journey begins, so that coming home to yourself is even easier and more enjoyable, so that you can take real leadership of your own life. You can check my website for reviews and more on this. I have everything from 12 months to a few sessions. And these transmissions were brought to you by me, our friends on the Swedish Hill, and many other unseen and powerful beings. And last but not least, my darling co-host Yvonne, holding ground for us all. And this space is free and always will be. And if today's transmission and healing meditation resonates and you want to support this channel to keep going, donations are warmly welcome. And every contribution helps us offering this to everyone who needs it. There's a link in chat, comment, or description. So, lovely people, thank you so much for today. Thank you for your presence. And remember, you are a bright, shining star and a miracle, and a light of eternal potential. So breathe, be you, and keep shining. Take care, and hope to see you next week or sooner. Many blessings. Thank you.